I studied Iranian film in college. My mentor was Kaveh Asghari. His family fled Iran when a revolution prevented them from living a good life. I've talked with Mexican Americans, Mexicans, in meetings, in discussions at community college about racism. When a friend and fellow student dressed as a Border Patrol officer at a dance I had helped plan. She was from Britain, and a teacher, instructor at the school demanded we be reprimanded for supporting her in her behavior, wearing a Border Patrol costume she said was racist and inappropriate. And what my friend and my fellow classmates said had to do with what she had to deal with when she came to America from Britain to learn and study in college and receive a degree. There was nearly a civil war in the school. And she wore a Border Patrol costume to a dance for Halloween. Now there's paranoia, hallucinations, and confusion. Did my social worker counselor somehow see my videos and hear what I said and decide I'm a racist and now need to be prosecuted? Unfortunately, I never gave my work to my counselor. Though I've explained I work on a YouTube channel with psychological cognition and quantum neurology. And worse, did she mistake me talking about a 200-pound woman as an insult? And not a part of my consciousness? Involving a woman who's much taller, much bigger. These parts to this confusion have to do with, well, how did she see those videos, hypothetically, to consider the ramifications for mental health? And possibly most importantly of all, who would ever hear me talking right now and know my words? Living in an apartment provided by Health and Medicine. There's no real conclusion other than paranoia. Paranoia from what I've said to my counselor and explained with my excitement, getting to know more about her religious Muslim practice. And a bigger problem within a bigger problem has to do with the denial and resistance against using videos and voice and words to solve problems and understand a world my autistic brain, though mild and minimal, socially doesn't understand. Especially when there's confusion with the counselor who I've appreciated since the beginning, but now suddenly appears skinnier, distant, and passive, almost as if they were attacked, assaulted. And disrespected now. And the problem with the lack of freedom to speak in my own home has to do with those who echo me, who synchronize to sound, to make better hallucinations, to cause confusion as an activity involving awareness. And awareness in this building with apartments has to do with a veteran. And worse, dominance to have the veteran feel comfortable and relaxed, doesn't acknowledge my assault in a previous community house mental health housing building, when a man came in, beat me unconscious, jumped out a window over a girl he took from California to Seattle when she was 17 and he was 34. When I, much younger than a Vietnam veteran, had PTSD from community house mental health, having a lack of awareness for the smokers in the building who enjoyed their tobacco and didn't like to lock the door. So now I have my difficulties with a PTSD from being assaulted, and immediately when I move in, my door's kicked by the other man who seems to be suffering from what he said, from a similar difficulty with PTSD he got while in the military. Except he doesn't apologize. He doesn't say he's sorry. He kicked on my door and told the police I was a murderer. The other tenants all work together in their system and processes to make his life as beautiful as his garden grows now. And when I say words related to not what I observe, but what I passively hear and see, then I'm considered a need for modification and a duality causing a disruption now. explaining my words now as screams and yells, bangs and booms. And almost requiring me to reduce the strength in my voice, in the power of my thoughts, to satisfy the required limits for hormones, energy, and most obviously, behavior. To fit my body within a psychiatric, psychological set of processes in a system drug addicts have more success in now from the dominance they proclaim than a cancer surviving dumb bitch. Now, there's so many people listening and using time to observe awareness. My home and this building feel more like a haunted house where children and kids, young adults go during Halloween to be scared, terrified. In other words, to feel fear. And I have to make a video for a college school application, always with the thought in my brain, in my neuron, needing synapses to concentrate and focus. Who might be observing me right now? Who might be hearing me speak and upset and telling the landlord I'm in need of a 10-day notice and eviction? Now, there's more 10-day eviction notices in this building than there are opportunities to figure out what's causing me to not be as free as those counselors and those landlords and those managers and those psychiatrists with my college degree and 10 years working on my thesis and dissertation with neurology and neuroscience and pediatric medicine now. I was a nanny, a babysitter when my door was kicked and slammed, when my wall kept getting hit, when I turn on my heat, scraped, scratched, hearing men's voices in a woman's home, and told I was such and such, and told stories about methamphetamine, people who wouldn't leave people's apartments, who would enter their apartment and then stay without permission. Now,